What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're for a brand new Madden 26 rebuild of the Dallas Cowboys. Highly requested, and a request that I'm going to fill here today, Sunday, the day of my birth. It is my birthday, and I have spent time recording a Dallas Cowboys video on the day of my birth. So with that, I'm going to use it to try and guilt you. Can we get likes on this video? Can we get a like goal? 1,000 likes would be pretty cool. If it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments which team you want to see rebuilt next. But since this trade happened, everyone wants to see the Cowboys. The Cowboys have immediately become the most challenging team, the most deserving team, however you want to break it down, of a rebuild. I will never feel sorry for Cowboys fans, but I am empathetic for what they are going through. As Jerry Jones, straight up just not wanting to deal with an agent and like bypass NFLPA, gotta be laws at this point, trying to make a deal with a player, trades Micah Parsons, one of the best players in the league regardless of position, at a premium position. And you can make an argument that the value they got back in return wasn't, like maybe they got undersold a little bit. They get Kenny Clark, 30-year-old defensive tackle, still a good player, but it's probably fair to say he's on the decline. You get a 2026 first-round pick, a 2027 first-round pick. I'm going to try, and I have a plan in place, and you clicking on this video, it's probably going to be in the thumbnail. I have a plan that can maybe make Cowboy fans happy here on my birthday, but I will say once and one time only as I rep the Eagles because I have to, because it's a Cowboys video. Very happy Micah Parsons no longer in the division. Thank you very much, Jerry Jones. My favorite GM in the NFL is Howie Roseman. My second favorite GM in the NFL is Jerry Jones. So after that trade, here's a look at the Dallas Cowboys. This is a team that, well, there's good and bad. I think starting on the offensive line, they've been investing. Guyton, Smith, Beebe, Tyler Booker, their first-round pick this year. That is 4 players that I think when we can get this thing turned around and competing for titles, like 4 out of 5 on the offensive line should be here. These guys should develop. They have high ceilings. Got to figure out right tackle. Terrence Steele probably has one of the worst contracts in the NFL. We will be able to deal with that. You got Ferguson at tight end, very solid tight end. You got CeeDee Lamb, 95 superstar X Factor. You go out. I'm a big fan of George Pickens. I hate this move for them. Something I did find kind of funny, though, is that, Micah Parsons' agent is also George Pickens' agent, and the Cowboys just traded for George Pickens in a contract year. That's probably not going to work out well. I think that's just more Jerry being Jerry. And what we're going to try to accomplish in the video is, I'm going to take over for Jerry Jones. I'm going to try and navigate this very worrisome period for Dallas. And this will be the one time and one and only video that I try and make Dallas great again. You got Turpin, great return man. Running back room is certainly intriguing. Miles Sanders, you get Javonte Williams. I am a Javonte Williams fan. He was incredible in college. Hasn't been able to put it together in the NFL. You get the rookie Jaden Blue from Texas. We'll actually probably make him our RB2. Has great speed. But the big question, I think, before even the Micah Parsons trade is what do you do with Dak Prescott? The most expensive player in the NFL. Is he still worth it? 84 superstar dev. But it kind of feels like it's now or never. They went out and got George Pickens. They went out and invested on offense in the draft. If Dak can't figure it out, maybe it's time to potentially move on. So we will see. I think there's still trade value for Dak Prescott. You're probably not going to get a first-round pick. But if you decide it's time to move on with 4 first-round picks over the next 2 drafts, we have the ammunition to facilitate that. Now, defensively, we'll go to talk about the D-line at last. Linebacking core is, overshown. I think he's a good player. I think Lou Fowl lost his dev trait that he had a Madden ago. But this is a linebacking core. Clark has great stats that, they could play well enough. All it would take is a good dev trait or 2 over the next year and change for us to feel maybe a little bit more optimistic about this linebacking room. I think these guys still have their best football ahead of them. Safety room, you got Wilson and Malik Hooker. Both those guys are pretty much band-aids at this point. We are going to have to find more long-term options. The secondary, which once was a overwhelming strength of the Dallas Cowboys. Deron Bland, 87, struggled with injuries. We'll get him to stay healthy. Trevon Diggs, has that ship sailed? Is he kind of now on the downswing of his career as an expensive corner? Does he still have that ball hawk ability? They get Kyer Elam. That's a shot in the dark from a former first-round bust. Now, I do like landing Ravel. Siobhan Ravel, the rookie corner out of East Carolina. He's a guy that had a season-ending injury, and many people assumed that he would have played all last year. Could have snuck potentially into the first round. That was an excellent value selection for the Cowboys, and he's going to be a big-time player for us, I think. And now comes time to replace Micah Parsons. You got Nealand, who has the depth chart. We'll probably actually play him over Sam Williams. Just, we got to play everyone with high ceilings. You get Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark's a big get. I think stopping the run, especially in the NFC East, is a priority. Dallas has struggled in that. Kenny Clark has got to help them on that front. Odigizua is more of an interior pass rusher. Mozzie Smith has been a bust. I'm not going to say I'm necessarily bullish, but if we have to view Donovan Ezeraku as a successor, he's going to get thrown to the Wolves to take over for Micah Parsons. I'm a big fan of this player. I think Dallas, generally speaking, had a strong draft in last year's the 2025 NFL class. Ezeraku is a guy that I would have been perfectly fine with my Eagles selecting at the end of the first round. Luckily, the rest of the league let Jahad Campbell fall to us, but he's a stud. Actually watched probably 3 or 4 Boston College games last year, and every single time he looked like he was the best football player on the field. Now, from a Madden standpoint, I mean, good athlete, 90 acceleration, 83 speed, 79 finesse move. His block shed's on point, a little bit on the weak side, 82 pursuit. But I think this, I'm not immediately thinking we have to focus on those 4 first-round picks as finding a true edge rusher. I think Nealand can continue to develop. I think Ezeraku can continue to develop, and they'd be solid. We might not have a game changer like Micah Parsons, but I think we might be able to diversify those 4 first-round picks over the next 2 years to overall overhaul this Cowboys team and get them back on the right track. And let's bring it here live. It's unfair, but with my plan of giving him a chance to establish himself as a starting edge, Donovan Ezeraku, the rookie out of Boston College, is, for a lack of better term, our Micah Parsons replacement. He dominates his driller with a gold medal. Coming out of training camp, decent upgrades. Dak Prescott got an upgrade. We got 2 for the left tackle, Tyler Guyton, and 2 for Ezeraku to hopefully give him a nice little boost to start his rookie campaign as our new premier pass rusher. Unfortunately for us, in the Micah Parsons return game, we fall 21-14, close loss to the Packers, and it was probably more so our defensive shortcomings than it was us being on the wrong end of Micah Parsons just completely dominating us. Jordan Love went off. Our run defense couldn't figure out a way to stop Christian Watson. And, Micah Parsons still got his, but far from took the game over. Next great touchdown is coming, and you can bet on it. From mid-season rivalries to breakout performances, every game is packed with drama, and there is no better time to jump in with my partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, new customers who bet just $5 get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Stay in on the action and use your $300 in bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. If sports betting is not yet available in your state or province, don't worry, you can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Pick 6 and have a shot to win cash prizes. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers who use my promo code C4 and bet just $5 on any wager will get $300 instantly in bonus bets. That's promo code C4 only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, the midway point of year number 1, we're 4-3, off to a decent start. I would say the games have been relatively easy, and the backstretch of this season are against more playoff caliber teams. As you can see, we lost to the Panthers. That's a bad loss, but we bounced back, beat the Commanders, who are certainly in the playoff hunt as well. So I think there's absolutely a chance that we can kind of maintain with Dak Prescott in this offense and find a way to navigate to the playoffs. But you look at our rankings, we're kind of just meh. 22nd in points, almost top 10 pass rush yards, 20th defensively, well into the 20s for both those yards. So we're, there's concerns, but maybe we could take this dub here. We're overshown at linebacker, gets a 12 tackle, 1 interception, player of the week, defensive performance, and that's going to inspire us to win out till our bye week. But looking at the contract situation, we have $29 million of salary cap, and a bunch of players that need to get paid. Now, if I'm looking at this roster as a whole, well, you love the kicker there. You probably want to value the kicker, but when budget is this tight, I think it's fairly easy to prioritize. Did Ferguson get a contract extension? I feel like he did. I literally just did the inverse of this rebuild with the Packers, and they didn't have Zach Tom, like their great right tackle. His contract didn't even exist in the game. I'd say if I was looking at this, George Pickens would be the contract I would send first, because I think that that's still our path forward. But with that contract going out, $16 million remaining, let me just use some Google here real quick. Yeah, so Jake Ferguson signed a 4-year deal with Dallas in July. So I think from a salary cap standpoint, we will also, commit our money this way so that from a challenge standpoint, as it stands right now, I do not have money to give an obvious contract extension to Deron Bland. Hopefully, come the end of the year, we can move some money around and keep him in-house. Dude, we can't even beat the Raiders? Lose the Raiders, and now we're in the gauntlet. Eagles, Chiefs. Let's keep it here live. We got the Detroit Lions, and you get the Minnesota Vikings. All playoff teams. The toughest stretch. Can we at least sneak away? And we're getting belt to ass right now. This is 4, and I would have 7 wins probably would have where I would have had Dallas. Like kind of worst case out of the Micah trade. We got to win out to hit that. I will say good news, however. Late season, Donovan Ezraku, the rookie pass rusher out of Boston College, who has lofty expectations going into this year, just recently got 15 TFLs in a season, which gave us 12K XP and 3 skill points, which is going to bring him up over an 80 overall for his rookie campaign. So the Dallas Cowboys end up going 4-13, which is, as you can see, worse than the Saints. Even though I think if I will have to defend us, that backstretch is against almost all playoff teams for Dallas. I'd be a little concerned, like in real life, I'm a Cowboy fan looking at our schedule. Like that second half of the year is going to be a gauntlet. So we were the second worst team in the NFL, second worst offense in the NFL. That is inexcusable. Dak Prescott's the highest paid one of the highest paid quarterbacks. I don't know if that's been topped yet. But we have CeeDee Lamb, who's a beast. George Pickens, who's a beast. Terrence Ferguson, who's borderline top 10 tight end. I think our offensive line is 4/5 of the way an offensive line that we're going to be able to keep for this whole rebuild. To be a Super Bowl offensive line. Second worst to the Browns. Dak Prescott threw 16 touchdowns. In Madden 25, Dak Prescott was throwing 40 touchdowns, more often than not. 16. He was also our leading rusher. Run game that is terrible. CeeDee Lamb, 900 yards, 12 touchdowns. Like, I'm gonna lose this dev trait. The only guy that probably had numbers, like Ferguson. No touchdown sucks, but 54 and 500 yards is probably pretty good. 12 touchdowns for CeeDee Lamb is fine. That is shocking. I've had a couple bad sim quarterback seasons. That might be the worst. And then our worries, like, how are we going to replace Micah Parsons? Look, even the defense sucked. Nealon got 8 sacks. Kenny Clark, 8 TFLs, 6 sacks on 54 tackles. That's not bad. Ezraku didn't get crazy sacks, but 18 TFLs is nice. Clearly, no one was able to step up to replace Micah Parsons. But, I'm still optimistic. Ezraku, Nealon with 8 sacks. If he can build off of that, that's not brutal. Interception numbers, Overshown with 3 picks. Where, Deron Bland, ball hawk, right? 1 pick. Where the hell is Trevon Diggs? That's a guy that he gets out there healthy. You're going to assume 4 or 5 interceptions minimum. Not one player on this team, outside of, I'll give Nealon credit and maybe Overshown at linebacker credit, was even remotely as good as they should be in Madden Sim. Ezraku was our only guy even remotely close to winning an award, coming 4th in Defensive Rookie of the Year. To top it all off, at the end of the year, where sometimes salary cap goes up, we're in the red. So because I can't fire Brian Schottenheimer, I'm going to fire the offensive coordinator to represent me firing him to see if there's anybody on the open market. We get Stefanski. We get Dave Canales. We'll bring in Stefanski. I think if he got canned by the Browns, he would definitely be a top OC. Now, the good news for the team is no dev trait regression. CeeDee Lamb, that was the one I was most concerned about. Still keeps his X factor. George Pickens is there. Dak Prescott somehow keeps his superstar. Thomas Booker was a hidden dev rookie as a star dev trait. Defensively, I think everybody kind of keeps their dev. I don't know if Overshown was a normal, I'm pretty sure, but I think him and Lee, yeah. So the two linebackers that were kind of gassing up would be nice to get dev traits. Both did get dev traits. Ravel was a hidden dev rookie. He is a star, so that's okay, better than expected. But with having no money, we can't afford to re-sign Deron Bland, even though that would be, in a perfect world, an obvious re-sign. So we're going to hit the reset, but I think if the Dallas Cowboys are going to do what they did with Micah Parsons, and they underperform, they're probably not, I'd be shocked if they're a 4-win team, but I could see Dallas being between 4 and 7 wins this year. Just absolute. I'll be shocked if their offense plays as bad as ours did, because I still think they'll be able to get in shootouts and move the football. But if Dallas fails to make the playoffs this year, which is an increasing possibility, which I'm trying not to be biased, I'm trying to look objectively at things, I think you just commit to a full blow-up. I think I look at that being Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott with a $70 million cap. It's just not going to work out. Hit the reset. Maybe suck for a second. I don't think you get a first-round pick for Dak Prescott, to be honest with you. So what we did do is find a team that I think, I don't want to say would be stupid enough, but I think they would be in the market potentially for a veteran quarterback. I looked at the draft order. Jets aren't picking top 10. I think they were 24. Like, they must have made the playoffs. So I'm getting a second-round pick this year, a second and third-round pick next year for Dak Prescott. I think maybe you could get a first, like a late first for Dak Prescott, but I was trying to think, like, what is the most reasonable trade that I could make so no one would say that is completely overpowered? I think that would be appropriate compensation for a quarterback that's still, from a starting quarterback standpoint and maybe a new fresh start standpoint, would have 2-3 years left of good quarterback one play. Now, the downside of that trade is, huge contract. We are now $25 million in the red. Maybe the forgotten man in these discussions of quarterbacks, at least in the context of Madden. Joe Milton could be a damn good Madden quarterback. 99 throw power, 86 short. Actually, he could throw the deep ball. He's accurate short, has some dual threat ability. But what we need to do, that's an interesting option, especially if the draft board doesn't go the way we want it to go. But right now, we have to restructure and trim fat where we can. We're trying to fix this team from Jerry Jones. That is what this rebuild is. Don't think I'm just gutting this team because I'm an Eagles fan and I want to spike the Cowboys. This rebuild is, I'm taking over Jerry Jones. How would I fix Dallas step by step? Step one, it's like, okay, let's suck year one. Let's commit to, like, if we suck, it's not the end of the world. Luckily, we played that game and we didn't lose any dev traits. Sick. Step two, get rid of Dak Prescott and trim the fat. And this Terrence Steele contract is ass. I'm going to restructure this contract just to free up funds this year to get our team over the line and in the green. And we're going to say bye to Malik Hooker. That's a lot of savings right there for just, kind of a solid starting safety. So after all those moves, I have $1.5 million of available salary cap on a team that now no longer has a starting quarterback. Secondary's depleted. Zero depth across the defense. We got to embrace the suck for a little bit. So if we had to kind of prioritize our biggest areas of concern, one is at quarterback. That's where we've done our scouting, and unfortunately, there's only one quarterback that has a first-round grade, Robert Edmond. So, he's going to be, a top candidate here. I think our secondary need would be a right tackle, and we got just an absolute terrible roll. Usually you get a couple first-rounders. We have Brennan here. B pass block, A run. He could be all right, I guess. We'll take a look. Is there any left tackles worth looking at here? Top 5 in Hayden. Is there anyone that's going to be maybe more available at the second round? Assume we go quarterback early. A pass block, B run block's not bad. Breeler with a B and A. Double A's on, okay. On pass block power here for Cordell Ford. Second, third rounder. So like that, he kind of stands out a little bit. And then our final need would be safety. We just released Malik Hooker to kind of get the roster where we need it to be. And of course, there's not one freaking first-round projected safety. Ooh, Rich Chapman out of Texas with the double Bs is interesting. That could be a very good player. Or we have Eric Lane here out of Florida as at least a first-rounder. Run support. I mean, great tackling stats as well. And I've been told there's been the A-hit power cheese. I think we'll take a look at Lane just to be sure and know that maybe Chapman could be a really nice value pick for us in the second round. So let's see how we did. We got Ford here at left tackle, who is a legit first-rounder value. But, I mean, I've found gems on the offensive line. These guys rarely fall out of the first round. These guys get overdrafted. Brennan, as far as just the only kind of right tackle, he's a first-rounder. It's like, man, that's not a steal, but that would be to represent pretty good value. We then have at safety, Eric Lane gets top 5 talent as a first-round pick. I mean, he looks like, is his combine crazy? I don't know. This is like one of those ones I'm glad I scouted. I would not have assumed that guy would be good. We also have Chapman. I might need both, to be honest with you. We could use a free and a strong. So Rich Chapman, he's also very much on our short list. I'm interested. So taking a look at the final mock draft, we currently are projected to go after the only first-round quarterback, which I hope that... I don't think I've drafted a generated quarterback yet, outside of our Raiders franchise. Then with our second pick, so Green Bay kind of went on a run here. So we're picking at 20. So, technically, the good news is at 20, 21, that top 5 safety is available in Eric Lane. So that could work. And then if one of those tackles that we scouted could fall, that would be perfect. If I can lead this draft, first, second round... Okay, so Ford is going at 29, but the right tackle is falling. So, I mean, that would track. So, as you can tell from the thumbnail, my plan was if I could get an interesting quarterback, while we don't have realistic classes going, I was just going to make them into Arch Manning. Old school Madden rules before there was custom draft classes is what we used to do. Robert Edmond. If he sucks, I'll say if he doesn't have a dev trade like that, he's Robert Edmond. But if he does have a hit of dev, I don't want to disrespect Arch Manning by making him like, a high rating, no dev trade quarterback. But Edmond here, oh no. 34 true value at number 2. Like, that's not really Arch Manning. But for the sake, and I'm getting ready to watch Texas, Ohio State, so hopefully Arch Manning plays well. And this video might be a little more searchable. We're going to make him into Arch Manning. And I mean, what's his speed? Arch has some good... Like, that skill set-wise is a believable Arch Manning skill. Got to make him a little bit taller. But that tracks. So now we got to make a tough decision. Do we trust the board and go with top 5? Way down here with Lane? Or is this where we say we want to... I mean, come on. I do need a tackle. We don't need a tackle. If we have to trot out Terrence Steele there for another year, we could do that. We got to trust our scouting here. Eric Lane, which trust our scouting. I scouted the only first-round safety in the draft. Lucked out that he's top 5. Let's see. How top 5? Number 1 in true value at pick 20, and we get the dev trait. That is... I mean, we couldn't have lucked into that because if I was blind picking, there was nothing about his athletic testing, his combine, really even his letter. I mean, his letter grades weren't bad, but I'm usually fairly casual and I just look for man and zone coverage, and he was C's in both those categories. He was great in everything else with his run support architect. Damn. So with our first pick of the second round, the number 2, we have Zach Brennan, our scout at right tackle. I just really want to try and get Terrence Steele off the books as soon as we can, and I think Zach Brennan looks, I mean, the bench press is real nice if we're going to kind of take a casual approach at determining whether or not he is good or not. But it ends up, that's good value. It's about where you should go. Number 30 in true value, getting a pick 34. Most importantly, we get the dev trait. But we can't clean the board as at pick 47, the Bears get Rich Chapman, the B-man, B-zone. See, I got to go look at that. That could be one we regret not maybe trading up for and securing his services. If we need like another safety, which I think we do, we have Levi Hobson here All B's. You got B-Man, C-Zone, 220 pounds, so he's a little bit on the, bulkier side. First in 40-yard dash, first in vertical jump, first in 20-yard shuttle. Like, just get him, and with his athleticism, make him a free safety. Maybe? Let's see. Looks pretty good for a blind pick. 41 at 56, so it's not a crazy pull. But the dev train continues. Let's go! All right, here, got to get a quick kind of blind pick. In Patton at corner, who had B-Zone, B-Press. That was it. 27 in true value at 66. I cannot stress that I know that there is a draft class patch incoming in September. I'm going to be terrible because I'm using up all my luck right now. Dude, like, this is the easiest year to draft that I've... Here's another guy. There was a guard that had a couple A's. Any guy... Look, he's still here. Griffin. Any player that has, like, any traits that kind of stand out. You get A, pass block power. A, pass block footwork. B, run block. For Brett Griffin, a UDFA guard. I guarantee this is a top 100 player. Bench press kind of sucks. Maybe that will make him like a normal dev. I'll be shocked. 37. Please, if you are like, how do you draft? Just, it's not hard. Just look for things that stick out. If they stick out, they're almost always good, is my luck, and why my hit rate is like freaking, feels like at least 80% of all my picks in Madden 26. It's why my rebuilds have only taken 3-4 years every time. This is so easy to draft. Let's try another one. Thad Alexander, B deep art running, kind of stood out. 4.2 speed. Kevontae Turpin's not getting any younger. I would imagine this guy's gonna be pretty good. 112. Every pick's at least a value pick. Ooh. Dev Trake streak ends though. A little bit humbling there. Can we get drum roll, please? I need a kicker. I just lost Brandon Aubrey. And I've found a generational kicker in just about every class. Elite kick power, A kick accuracy, A awareness. So very tough to let Brandon Aubrey go. Superstar dev kicker, doesn't miss. I'm going to go replace him with a number 26 hidden dev 99 kick power kicker on a rookie contract. All right, so take a look at our draft recap. Obviously, I'm going to make some modifications to Edmund, but every single stat is going to stay the same. He's going to be 75. We're going to work with this. I think athletically speaking, maybe Arch might have a little more juice than that. But outside of just height, weight, maybe see if there's a better scan. Every single attribute for Edmund is how we're going to treat Arch Manning. So 94 throw power, 78, 78, 83, awareness. All of those things are going to be locked in. But outside of that, the rest of the class... Eric Lane, 81, 76 on Brennan, 75 on Hobson, 76 on Oscar Patton. The guard is 75. We get a 76 kicker. I got a 70 punter, 69. So everybody inside of one is at least a 70 plus. Griffin only drafted him because he had A's. That stood out. Patton only drafted him because he had double B in zone coverage and in press. Hobson, we walked it through it. Like combine, letter grades checked out. Great player. Brennan, we got him from scouting. Lane, and even these two guys, you can make the argument, we fell ass backwards into them. Brennan was the top tackle at right tackle in the class, scouted him. Lane was the only first round grade safety in the class, scouted him. You know? You're rebuilding the Cowboys. This is the kind of draft you need. You trade away Dak Prescott, you sell the farm, you hit the reset button. This is how you start fresh. Now here we go, ladies and gentlemen, Arch Manning. Here we go, going to work with Arch. Once we get that gold medal, if we finish strong, we might be able to. Mission, oh yeah, he's showing great mobility in the pocket. These freaking wall hack footballs coming at us. They got hacks on. But if we can get a couple bullseyes, boom, there's one more. One more throw, come on! Fuck you! Now, my biggest concern wasn't about drafting. I knew getting those picks from the Micah Parsons trade being set up, 2 first-round picks, etc., the picks from the Dak Prescott trade, I was going to be able to do work with it. My concern is the Dallas sim. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take our 285-point budget, and all I'm going to do is go all in on buffing the pass game and the offense. We have got to, at minimum, with Arch Manning, with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, getting the money that they got. Our run game could be shit, right? We got Jaden Blue, that'd be cool. He's a fast running back, developmental player. Our pass game has got to be top 10 in the league. So I'm going to go and we'll get field general, and we're going to have this active every single week, giving all those buffs to our quarterback. I think we should go dashing dots. Not as good, but we'll hit that one. I think we should probably... We'll bump our tackles up, get our offensive line playing like the Cowboys offensive line of old. We also have the guard one. There we do. There's going to be what we're running. I'm not going to worry so much about maybe going after school tutor. I think we're going to have to go heavy on offense and less on player development. How fitting! Arch Manning's NFL debut is against the Indianapolis Colts. Let's go check it out. I mean, suppose quickly, our team going into this matchup, we have a new quarterback. We're going to go Jaden Blue at running back. We're going to have CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Ferguson as our primary target. Zach Brennan gets a start at right tackle, giving us an offensive line. I am very confident. I mean, I think the issue is going to be our salary cap at this point. We have the talent in place. If we can free up the funds to get these guys extended long term, we're going to be in a great spot. Defensively, everyone on the front there has a dev trait. Linebacking core. I had to sign Christian Harris late in free agency. Kind of a little light at linebacker, but Overshown Leufau should be able to do the job. We're going with the two rookies at safety in Hobson and Lane. Expectations very high for Lane, number one player in the class. Ravel has to make a step up, though, to start for us. Outside corner with Diggs. And we are going to have Patton at corner. So a lot of rookies. Would be pretty annoying if all these are star devs. Well, let's go. Feel like a first true era out of the Jerry world. Even though we're in Jerry world. He's gone. He can't hurt you guys anymore. I'm here to save the day. I'm here as an Eagle fan who's won 2 Super Bowls in the last 10 years. Been to 3 Super Bowls in the last 3 years. I'm here to bless you guys a little bit. And it starts with that great job. And you know what? You know what gets better? We got the same amount of draft picks next year. But my biggest concern, again, I hope all these boosts that we have applied to the offense help, is the offense. Shocked that we had like one of the worst sim offenses in the league last year. Unacceptable. Defense can be butt cheeks. Let's go. We're going to play the moments. We will play moments. All out blitz. I love it. Ezuraku. Yes. They got Anthony Richardson still at quarterback. Oh, we're just going to bring the blitz. Don't matter. Bring him down. It's Hobson, the rookie free safety. Love to see that. And here we go. Red zone with Arch Manning. Let's go. It's red zone, so maybe we can get him to bite on a play action pass here. Get this to Pickens, Schoonmaker. Or... underrated aspect of Arch's game. Oh, you gotta reach for it. He's a dual threat. He has some great scrambling ability. I really, we should probably just run this one in. But I do want to try to get a passing touchdown here on the drive. This is a great play if we can get time. Ferguson right at the line. There we go. Took a little minute. Didn't get anything in the first quarter. But Arch Manning has his first career passing touchdown in the NFL. The Jake Ferguson at tight end. Great drive. Contributions from our rookies on both offense and defense. That is football harmony, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful. Get off the field. Ooh, an interception. Brandon Hill. That is our backup free safety. We're on the 4. Again, another scenario. Kind of want to throw it. Let's try this one. And I'd love the O-line to hold up and get CeeDee Lamb back corner of the end zone. Yep. Easy does. It's a great situation. I will say, if you could get Jerry Jones out, and this was a scenario. There's a reason why I'm doing this. It's all over social media after this trade. It's like, oh, Dallas is tanking. We want Arch Manning. And Arch Manning going to Dallas makes a lot of sense because Jerry wants a spectacle. It's more entertainment than football. But if you eliminated Jerry Jones's idiot decision making, and you put him, Arch Manning that is, in this offense after you found a way to re-sign George Pickens. George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, the offensive line that we have built right now. You probably would want to invest a little bit in the run game, I would say, just to kind of take the pressure off them a little bit, which they don't really have that. But yeah, there's way worse situations you could go to if you're going to be a rookie quarterback. Let's just go. Let's keep going. We got the tight ends, man. Arch Manning likes the tight ends. Got a lot of confidence in Jake Ferguson, Schoonmaker. We've been making it look easy. Credit to our defense. We are not letting Anthony Richardson kind of run all over us. We'll come in here again. We'll go Y sail. I'm not going to lie, though. I'm watching on the other screen right now. Texas, Ohio State. If Arch Manning's a meme and plays terrible, this video is going to look stupid. Because everyone's going to be like, oh, this guy sucks. He's not looking very good, everybody. I'm a little concerned. Because if Arch Manning likes, 4 touchdowns, Texas beats Ohio State, probably a lot of people are going to be looking for Arch Manning videos, maybe on YouTube. If Arch Manning sucks, that's not going to be great for the content. So he's not looking particularly good. I guess the other good news is, neither's Ohio State. Both these teams look pretty mid right now. Let's go right out here to the backfield. You get the Jaden Blue. Everybody but receivers eating here today. Arch Manning just got sacked. Another 3 and out. God, oh no, it's not looking good. But what is looking good, Arch Manning here, week 1, against a team his uncle played for, the Colts, who probably in this scenario might be like, should we have tanked for Arch Manning? Should we have tried to do what the Dallas Cowboys did to get Arch Manning? But he now wears the Stars helmet, and he starts his career 3 touchdowns. Was that 4 touchdowns? No picks? 4 touchdowns, 90% completion percentage, 1-0. We followed up with another win over the... we got last place schedule, so that should be somewhat favorable. We played the Giants, 28-10, and it's Arch Manning. Near perfect. 23-28, 342, 4 touchdowns. Sick. This is working. I think we're going to have our continued conversation here with Arch Manning. It is. He's coming over here. How you doing, kid? Need you to get up to speed quick. Need you to, honestly, you need to win Offensive Rookie of the Year by a landslide. So it's not like day and night better, but we're 5-4. We're above 500. You look at our rankings. Points per game could be better, but our passing yards is top 5. Our rushing yards is bottom of the league. Our defense is top 10 overall. But just at minimum this year, our passing offense had to be good. And so far, it's at least tracking that way, even though we have had to kind of, I don't want to say it's necessarily cheesing, but we are committing all of our coach abilities on our passing attack, and at least we've got that back. Contracts. So, we have $68 million of cap. And, fairly easy decision here. There are 2 players that absolutely need to get re-signed. Overshown, I think we'll get him on a 3-year, $20 million deal. We get Tyler Smith at guard. I think he's very interested. I think we lock him. 5 years, $91 million. I think you got to get Dallas back. Well, I think of when Dallas was good, they just ran the football. They had the run game with Zeke and all those peak guys in their prime of the O-line. That's kind of what we need to get back to a little bit instead of being Zeke, though. I want that O-line to protect the quarterback for the passing offense. And to do that, you need to retain players like Tyler Smith. And off a 3-game lose streak, we get a 2-game win streak. And we just defeated in the Battle of Texas, the Houston Texans, 28-26, with an Arch Manning, his 2nd Offensive Player of the Week performance of the year. And then we beat the Giants. And this is a healthy stretch here. Giants, Titans, Jags should be 3 wins for this team. It wasn't a year ago. But off a Offensive Player of the Week performance in Week 12, Arch Manning gets another one against the Giants. Dude, losing to the Titans and Jags. Feels like the wheels are falling off. That's unacceptable. It's not great, man. Wheels have fallen off. 3-game lose streak against the Eagles, at least for what it's worth. Arch Manning, another Offensive Player of the Week performance. And we did have a lot of dev trade players. Let's take a look. Brennan on the offensive line is a star dev. Arch Manning. We have 10 upgrade points For the superstar X Factor quarterback, what we did, I think right, that's just, it's so cheesy, man. 3,500 yards passing gets us almost 25,000 XP. 30 passing touchdowns, almost 25,000 XP. Fix that. Like, there's no sliders that adjust or fix, and you can... It is, I'm not going to say it's immersion breaking, because, I mean, it just is what it kind of speeds up things, I suppose. But, you know, can we, like, at least, at a minute, can we have it? 50% of that? Because by the time I'm done spending these 10 skill points, he's going to be, like, an 85 overall. I will go just scheme fit. But because of the insane XP, we still have, like, look how close he is to leveling up again. Like, we'll hit at least one more level up. Our 75 quarterback for having a good rookie season could be a 90 overall by the time it's over. Which, again, I don't know. I'm not going to say it's an issue if it was rare. Like, I think those big 25,000 XP, you should hit that if you're, like, breaking rookie records. Like, if we, with his stat line this year, broke the single season passing record for yards and touchdowns, each one of those could be 25,000 XP. But having, like, a reasonably good rookie season, like, you know, that's like 10,000 XP. Like, as you can see at the top there, it takes about 8,200 XP to level up. I think, like, these, like, if you halved it and get around 10,000, that'd be 1 point. I think 1 overall point would be fair. Not 25 is almost 3 overall points for getting 3,500 yards passing. And the good news kind of continues. Hobson, star dev, still don't have the rookie corners dev trait, which is weird because he's our nickel. But Lane, the number 1 player in the class, is a superstar X Factor. Nice. Sick. So we close out year 2. We make the playoffs. 10-7. It's not like a dominating record. You look at like, how we actually did it. Outside of our passing offense, nothing else really stands out. Like, we get a tough matchup here against Carolina. We could run the football and had much better defensive performance. But look at the quarterback. Arch Manning, 3rd in passing yards. And at least out of the top 3 quarterbacks, has the most passing touchdowns. 3rd in yards, 3rd in touchdowns for the rookie quarterback. And only 4 picks. That's maybe the more impressive part. That is, we've done, what, 6 rebuilds? This might be the best statistical season we've had out of a quarterback. Now, that is more so highlighting how not great quarterback play we've had in our rebuilds. But I'm watching Arch Manning here right now on the side. I can keep commenting. He is just not throwing the football, making plays with his legs. But Arch Manning here, throwing the football very well. Jaden Blue is complimentary. Arch Manning, almost 400 yards, 2 touchdowns. Probably could get a little more scrambling ability there. 2,000-yard receivers. Love that. CeeDee Lamb over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. George Pickens over 1,000 yards with 9 touchdowns leading the team. Ferguson was solid. Jonathan Mingo, we got a little bit of production there. On the defensive side of the ball, Overshown continues to be a tackle machine. Our pass rush, Kenny Clark with 10.5 sacks, 9 sacks from Nealand, 9 sacks from Ezra Raku, 8 sacks from Odi Gazua. Top of, like, 15 TFLs between these two. Happy with those numbers. Certainly not like Micah Parsons-esque, but not brutal. Still think we have a lack of interception issue for how this corner room is made, but as far as the safeties, we don't have to worry about the safety room anymore. Lane, the X Factor, got a pick on 77 tackles, and Hobson, 79 tackles with 2 picks. Arch Manning as a rookie runner-up for MVP. So with that, clearly he runs away as Offensive Rookie of the Year. He is Quarterback of the Year, so he is going to be a superstar X Factor at the end of the season unless we get absolutely robbed. And to take that successful rookie season and you say, hey, you got to make the playoffs, you got to go on the road against Carolina, way worse teams you could run into in your first playoff game. I think we absolutely could win this game. It's not like we got a bad roll and we got to take on the Eagles, take on the Rams or anything like that. This is winnable. So let's see it. Arch Manning, one of the most successful rookie quarterbacks that we've seen in a minute. And I will say, seeing that stat line, seeing where he ranks, maybe those XP boosts aren't as cheesy as I thought because he was outstanding. Certainly one of the all-time rookie quarterback seasons. But all won't matter if we can't get the playoff wins. That was the problem. Dak Prescott put up some pretty big-time numbers, except when it mattered in the playoffs. That needs to be the difference maker here. You're not going to get a lot easier opponents, with all due respect to the Panthers. And we've yet to, it feels like, even cross midfield. Yikes. Okay, humbled. But our defense doing a job. How about? Oh, man. Well, we went from 4 wins to 10 wins and make the playoffs. And hopefully this is not a sign of things to come, of playoff failure. And this will be something we can learn from. But that's an ugly loss, no matter what way you put it. So at the end of the season, Arch Manning is a superstar X Factor. Makes sense. You get even more XP, 12,000. The bad news is CeeDee Lamb. How old is he? That must have been like, he had a good year, 1,000 yards. He's 28. Maybe that's a little early, though, to start hitting regression. Being honest with you. So that maybe is a little harsh. We gain a superstar dev trade on Ferguson at tight end. And everything else is star. The O-line's looking great. Defensively, Lane doesn't lose his dev trade. That's fine. Overshown goes from star up to a superstar. Our corner here in Patton is a star dev. All right. I mean, we go into the, like, where do we need to get better? I will say I set my focus code just for D-tackle. Kenny Clark's kind of replaceable. We could look at pass rush. As always, we have 2 first-round picks, so we have the moves to be aggressive and potentially to trade up. Running back could also always be in play. And now maybe we need to consider a wide receiver if CeeDee Lamb starting to regress maybe a little earlier than expected. We are going to decline the 5th-year option on Guyton. I think there's going to be more value giving him an early contract extension next year. Now we go to free agency. Not a lot of money. Oh, this is one of the best free agency roles I've seen in a minute. Sauce Gardner hits the open market. Tyreek Hill's there. Quarterbacks. Dang, man, we only got $28 million. Where we need to get better. So like a wide receiver, Zay Flower. He's a popular name to always be there. Quentin Johnson's there. Pretty much, yeah, definitely want to sit on the outside. D-tackle room, not a lot of win now. We do need linebacker help. Josh Cabrera. He's on the right side. He's a UDFA. They just add a little depth there. He has a dev trait. Okay. See if we could steal him. We got Patrick Queen. I do like me some Trenton Simpson. Made a trade for him, actually, in our last rebuild. Let's see where that puts us. Feel relatively solid about our corner room. I mean, Sauce Gardner, that'd be a fun, but we just don't have that amount of money. So let's see here. Can we get at least a linebacker? Nope. Come on, Jerry's not here anymore. It's good vibes in Dallas. All right, it is that time. We have 2 first-round picks. I'd probably prefer to stay with our picks. Our team needs wide receiver with CeeDee Lamb getting a little bit older. I do have some scouting done on wide receivers. We have a value in Bautista. Actually, we probably could just wait on that one. That might be good enough for me. We could potentially look at tackle if we don't really want to commit big money to Tyler Guyton, but when you have him in place, we don't really have any. I really want to look for like an A pass block left tackle. Do they have an A pass block right tackle? Couple first rounders. This guy looks like he could be solid. Well, our other needs, D tackle, I think getting younger there, and linebacker. D tackle, linebacker, corner would be the other spots. Just for corner, Trevon Diggs not getting younger. Linebacker, we just don't really have a lot of depth there. And D tackle is just, that could end up being with Kenny Clark getting a little bit older, and it looks like we have 2 outstanding top 5 defensive tackles. And it was a place that I focus scouted. We didn't get any, like, all the information unlocked, but we have a lot of good information there, a lot of details. So I'm going to, let's see, go Hayden. We'll go Medrano. And do we have any first-round linebackers? Even though that's a little faux pas. A tackle on Mark Daniels, A pursuit, B man coverage, B catching. That looks pretty good for the Mikes. Do we have any double A's? We do not. Thompson, A, B on Hendricks. A, B on Chuck Hobart. Do we have any athletes? 4.53. Ooh, 4.42 on Brendan Thompson. What's the 40-yard dash here on Dan? It's 4.64. I think we could probably casual that up and maybe look at Thompson with that almost 4.3 speed. That is very intriguing. Or we have the corners here, which this is, again, more of like we're worried about Diggs and how well he's going to grab. So Scott has A zone coverage. We have B's for Blackwell across the board, but he's 5'11", so not, the prototypical. But look at this one. Darius Clinton. B press, B zone, B man, bleed. What's your speed? 4.36. Okay, you, sir, are at least getting a look at. I'm intrigued. Let's go those 2D tackles and Clinton and make a decision what we're going to do with our picks. Ooh, so Clinton is a top 5. Again, they need to make it a little bit harder. Like, I'm not doing something where it's like, oh, this guy knows all the cheese tricks and tactics. Literally, I was like, oh, look, this guy has B in everything, and he's fast. He's probably going to be pretty good. And he is A catching. So Darius Clinton is interesting. We have our 2D tackles. Hayden is top 5. Madrano. So it's... This guy looks real good. Real good. Let's go look at the last mock draft. Where's this guy going? Where are our picks? I don't even know what our Packers pick is. I assume they made the playoffs. So we'll work our way, because I want to see if that corner's not going in the first round. That could change how I want to address and attack this year's draft. So we pick at 21 and 22. Oh, and Clinton is going in the first round. And that, I imagine that D tackle is going very early, top 5. He's going number 3. Let's call Atlanta. See what Atlanta thinks about those 2 first-round picks. How in love were they with pick 3? So we've learned from our mistakes in the past. We're not going to make this trade until we ensure that player is going to be there. I think that's probably a D tackle worth trading up for. And I will say, looking at the Rich Hill trade value calculator, the 3rd pick is worth 514 points. 21 and 22 is worth 520. So this could be viewed potentially as an overpay. But I think with D tackle being a position of need for us, I'd love to get that corner, but like the fact that that corner's going to fall a little bit, I think I would trust Diggs versus the regression of Kenny Clark that's about to hit. And this D tackle he's a pass rusher. I'm not just getting there. Guys like, oh yeah, he's a nose tackle, cheese could be a run star. This D tackle with that athleticism is going to be someone that's going to help our pass rush, because we had good pass rush numbers, but I think an element of this rebuild is, can I get this Cowboys defense to maybe be a better pass rushing team at some point than what they would have been if they stuck with Micah Parsons. And someone like Tyree Hayden, B block shed, A finesse, B power, A tackle, sub 300 pounds, runs a 4.6, almost a 4.5 yes, this is a trade you make 10 times out of 10. This should be a special player. Number 3, I thought he'd probably be number 1. Number 3 in true value at pick 3, but we do get the dev trade, obviously, and we do get a player, and every time you draft these guys, you're like, oh, it's the next Aaron Donald, but this guy looks very good. So here we come in the 2nd round, and, I mean, we have the pick of the litter at middle linebacker. I need linebacker. The corner market's kind of shot. And, I mean, we still have the 4.4 speed linebacker, Brandon Thompson. Linebacker's been a position I haven't drafted particularly well. If there's one position that's going to dupe you by, like, look at this athlete, draft him, and then you draft him, and he's like a 67 normal, it has been linebacker. But I think we trust the speed on this one. I wish he had double A's in zone and man. That tends to be the kind of players. But there you go. That's good value. Brandon Thompson, 25 at 41. And the dev trait speed, look at that, 91 speed. Again, it's a sick draft. If you're rolling eyes, oh, again, he's getting the best players. I drafted the fastest linebacker. That's how you get good players. Outliers, guys that stand out. Yeah, the guy that has Everyone else runs 4.5. He almost runs a 4.3. He stands out. He sticks out like a sore thumb. Get these guys in your Madden 26 drafts. And because of the Dak Prescott trade, I think we could double up and just grab Hobert. He also looked like a great linebacker. A-zone coverage, B tackle, 4.4 speed as well. Let's double up here. He's at 57 and 53, not bad. Oh, here we go. That's it's an early dev trade streak being ended, but I think there's still a really good player in there. Great athlete. Third round, our running game was terrible. I still think I like the athleticism of Jaden Blue. But let's see if we can blind pick a running back here. We have Earl Diggs at a USC. A little bit slower. You like for these power backs to be in the 4.4s, but the letter grades aren't brutal. Tyree Ford has a break tackle. You 4.4 speed? Let's go with it. I'm off. Let me blind pick this one. No! Dev trade? No! For God's sakes. There we go. Not every draft's gonna be perfect. Now I'm gonna go with the casual approach. Literally, I need a running back. Tracy Pearson's the fastest running back in the class. He's the most athletic running back in the class. And there's a little bit better chance. No dev trade either, though, but he has some athleticism. Could have waited, but I thought for sure that was going to be a dev trade. Let's come back and trust our scouting of wide receivers. We have Jonathan Bautista as a first, second round talent. Wouldn't have guessed off blind picking, even though, again, maybe we can look at this as like if you were blind picking. You'd probably know that he has B catching. You'd see that. It's like that's not really enough. Slot archetype tends to be steals in that range. But the one thing that I'd say would make him stand out is he has elite change of direction and acceleration. That 3-cone drill and 20-yard shuttle make him stand out above everyone else in this range. Everybody else that has good ratings in that are guys going in the first and second rounds. So there we go. Nice little pick here. Number 30 in true value at 117, but no dev trade. Okay, back in the blind. This could be something. This could be, let's get back into the dev. We have Zach Elam, B awareness, A impact, B run block. 35 reps on the bench press. Now he's projected UDFA. I think he'll be a top 100 player. There we go. 33. Dev trade. Cash it. We're back. So take a look at our draft recap. We kind of close out just depth moves. Nothing too crazy following the board. But Elam, 75 dev trade. Bautista was fully scouted as a first, second round talent. 75 normal. I get Pearson, 73 normal. That's, that was just straight up drafting because he had the best speed in the class. 93 speed, 95 acceleration. Ford was, for a blind pick. They don't always work. 68 normal. A little bit of wet fart. But we get two nice linebackers. Hobert, 73 normal. Thompson, 75 with a dev trade. But the man that we need to be incredible, the man that we're going to have to see double-digit sacks from, Tyree Hayden, absolutely has the skill set to do so. Now, I do want to go look at that top 5 corner that we scouted. And ultimately, with the trade-up, decided not to go get. And wonder if he's number 1. There's a quarterback here going to the Saints. Gordon at tight end, 81. Clinton is a 78. Here we go. Let's just see. Dev trade? Yes, he is. Hopefully it's just a star and we can live with it. Because if it's superstar, that'd sting a little bit. That's only star. Okay. Not bad. So, to see if we want to spoil something, Hayden, we make him an 80 power rusher. If he has at least a superstar dev, it should show that an ability was unlocked. Oh, no. Only a star dev? Potentially, maybe? No. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I just shared misinformation and he's not a star dev, because that would be fucking brutal. Okay, well, our offense looking to run it back. We're still very good. Played real well last year. I think we can get a little bit more of the run game. That could be a difference maker in going 10-7 to maybe 11 or 12 wins. Defensively, that is where we invested. I'm going to actually have Hayden with his athletic profile. He actually is like more athletic than Nealand. So to get him on the field, I'm going to kind of have him be like Chris Jones or Jalen Carter, where they're D tackles, but they'll sometimes play like on the outside. Thompson's going to start for us as well at linebacker. And let's just see it, man. We have one of the best young safety rooms in the NFL. I'd love to see Diggs figure out how to start getting turnovers again. That'd be a help. Now, at midseason, we were 5-2. Pretty decent start. Does feel like, though, like we won the 5 games that we should win. We've lost the 2 games. You can see right there at the top against the Bills, against teams like you probably would run into most like in the playoffs. We are one game away from finding out the dev trade of our D tackle, which hopefully is not a star dev trade. Thompson at linebacker is a star dev. Let's you know what? Let's keep it here live. Let's see what the dev trade is. See if we can get a win, and then we'll look at some contracts. 5-2 though, pretty happy with that. Our actual ranks. Let's go look at it again. I think our defense was playing a lot better than was. So there we go. Unfortunately, in loss against another team that you may see in the playoffs in the Bucks. So fraudulent a little bit, but our defense overall is top 10. Our rush defense is very good. Our passing offense is at least on the money. And let's go see. I don't know if we would get it through an upgrade. That'd be cool to see it. No, unfortunately did not get it there. But, I mean, if it is a star dev, maybe it's about time. I've had every single role. Come on, let's go down here. For my rebuild draft classes, go my way for the most part. And if I traded 2 first-round picks for a star dev D tackle. Oh, shit, he's an X-Factor. Well, there you go. What? How come when I leveled him up to 80, he wasn't? Well, there you go. If I'm trading 2 first-round picks, you better be this. And playing him at a position as a 300-pound defensive end has not worked out well. So let's, you know what? Now that I know he's an X Factor, let's change some things around. All right, so take a look here at our contracts. 114, so we're finally out of the Dak Prescott hell. And I think with that, let's keep this offensive line here together. We'll get Guyton on a 3-year 33, which is, you know, very advisable versus like declining the 5th-year option the way that we did it. It worked out pretty well. Let's get Cooper Beebe here on a 3-year, $23 million deal. Keep that O-line together. We have Nealand, who's been solid, but let's be honest, kind of replaceable. Leo Fowle's been solid. I think at that price point, at under $3 million a year for a star dev linebacker, you're running that contract. As there we go, Arch Manning, let's go! Big 15-yard scramble. I'm not even an Arch Manning fan, to be honest. I don't hate him, though. I kind of like, maybe it's the same thing. I know it's not related to the rebuild, but you might even be able to see. Hopefully that doesn't give me a copyright strike. I'm literally watching the Texas game here. I feel like the same thing with Shador. And it does, you know, the only way to describe it is football hipster. Because so many people just innately hate these people. You know what? I pull for them. You pull for the underdog. You pull for the bad guy. And he's not really an underdog. He's in every commercial. Like, literally, someone's tagged me on, I think, because he didn't play particularly well in the first half. It's like, there's been more commercials of Arch Manning than there has been, like, positive yardage for Arch Manning. Good plays. It's like, you know, that's just going to come with it, man. You're the most hyped up player. But I think, like, innately, people are just hoping for him to fail. Unless you're a Longhorn fan. You're just like, man, you know, screw it. You know, I don't like it. And I don't know, maybe it's football hipster me. Like, I'd like Arch Manning to be good. I think the world of football, if Arch Manning is a generational player, it is good overall for the world of football. So I'm hoping for that. Now, back to this. I mean, he is part of the Micah Parsons trade, and we have so much money that I have no problem bringing Kenny Clark back for 1 more year. So at the end of year 2, Arch Manning knows nothing but making the playoffs. It's 10-7 again. We didn't really improve a whole lot. But, you know, the strength of this team. Passing offense was a strength here. You know, our D-line, our run defense, still pretty good. Top 5. Taking a look at our stats. Arch Manning, 5th in yards, just outside the top 10 in touchdowns. So we're 3 touchdowns short of where we were a year ago. Interceptions up a little bit. So slight sophomore slump, but still very good numbers. Very happy with that. Run game, I mean, he has to do it all. Our run game is not, I wouldn't even think it's fair to say. It's complimentary, just shy of getting 2,000-yard receivers for the 2nd straight year, but happy with that production out of Lamb and Pickens. Bautista, our nice wide receiver, had a respectable year as well. Defensively, let's see. Overshown in the rookie Thompson with over 100 tackles. Thompson, 7 TFLs, 3.5 sacks, 2 picks. We get 10.5 sacks from the rookie X Factor Hayden, 8.5 from Kenny Clark, 7.5 Ezraku, 6.5 from Odigizua. And our interceptions continue to be a slightly, it's not really slightly. Like you think of like when Dallas defense was at their best, maybe even more so than Micah Parsons, it was the fact that their secondary just got an insane amount of turnovers under Dan Quinn. We got to get back to that somehow. Are you kidding me? What? Sure, why not? Have that happen in this. What the hell? Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce puts up that stat line. Not even Garrett Wilson. And of course, yes, this is only the first time. I thought he'd win it every single year, but Micah Parsons, Defensive Player of the Year, of course, keeps getting better. Nice that we had 1 and 2 in Defensive Rookie of the Year. I would have rather Thompson get it, because usually Defensive Rookie of the Year goes up dev traits. Thompson is just a star. Hayden's already an X Factor, so nowhere really for him to go. All right, let's just ignore that Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott in particular are thriving. We have Arch Manning, and he is going to get us a playoff win on the road against a bitter divisional rival in the New York Giants, who have the #1 defense in the NFL. No pressure. Come on, Arch. We beat the Colts in his NFL debut. Now he gets to go against his other uncle's team, the Giants. All right, not a great job by our defense. Offensively, though, we need to trade points. This gets into a shootout. We can't lose to Jackson Dart in a shootout. We have Arch freaking Manning. He's a different species from Jackson Dart as a quarterback. No. How are we the same old Cowboys? Fuck! It's the same shit. Arch Manning had under 150 yards in the playoff loss last year. And this year. Like, it's just... Oh, my God. Oh, we didn't even go... They got Sam Darnold? What the hell is going on? And of course, here on the sideline, Arch Manning just feels like the worst pick I've ever seen. Got a noodle arm. It looks like late final year before he retired Peyton Manning on the Broncos. So maybe this is fitting. Even though his stats are insane... Like, that'd be the Jerry Jones thing. Where, like, Arch Manning isn't worth the hype, and he still gets him anyway because of the clicks and how from, like, a media standpoint, that would be insane. So, as we end the year, dev traits, nothing on the offense, up or down. Defensively, we know we got something special there in Hayden. Leufau, who we got on an absolute bargain contract, is now a superstar. Thompson is just a star dev. But, man, oh, man. Trading away Dak Prescott seemed like big brain move. He just goes out and wins the freaking MVP with the Jets. This is not going well. This is not going as planned. As we go into year 4, our longest rebuild of the Madden 26 season. We're going to do the right thing. We're going to decline the 5th-year option on Tyler Booker to give him a contract extension next season. Potentially. All right, we're going to be aggressive here. We have almost $100 million in cap. I just looked at a little steep peak. Look at our issue. We're not running the football at all. Pass defense. So we need corner and running back. Jahmyr Gibbs at running back. Are you the missing piece? I will get in a bidding war. We also could, we got a wide receiver here. Nothing much. Offensive line, we feel real good about our offensive line. Defensively, feel pretty good defensively as well. Could go after Chop Robinson. We don't love Nealon there. Let's try that one. I won't get in a pissing match with the Patriots, but if he wants to come to us and all things are equal, we will do that. And then in the secondary... Yeah, let's try Terry and Arnold. Feel great about our safeties. All right. What? How did we miss the running back? Fuck off. That is so lame. You know what? Maybe we get a good story. Jonathan Brooks from Texas, coming off an injury, going back to Texas to have an opportunity to start. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, come on, man. I wanted Gibbs. That would have been enough to see, like, can we have a good run game? With Brooks, it's probably going to be more than the same, maybe slightly better. All right, so we go look at our private workouts here. I did do some homework on the line with where we're picking. You know, Graham could be good value, like in the second round if he's their first second rounder. No, I don't think I've ever seen. Have you guys ever seen like a tackle, like a clear stud tackle, like beyond third round? Like they exist in real life. They happen more often in real life than they do in Madden. But we do have some tackles that could be nice with where we pick. I think our next need could be, just adding more corner depth. So looking at what we have here, Stinson with the A-zone coverage stands out. I suppose Fort, just to get the information. I mean, we don't have a lot of needs. This roster should be ready to go. Maybe pass rush. Late first round, Madison with the A finesse move. Sure, let's do that one as well. So what we got is Madison is a legitimate first rounder. He could be within our range. And then the secondary, Fort's first, second rounder. But there's value here with Stinson, third, fourth rounder as a legit first rounder. That'd be someone I would really like to get, maybe in the second round. Overdraft him there, not in the first round. We also have, while the clock is rolling, I love my Florida Gators, Rob Barnhart. A legit first rounder at wide receiver. Again, maybe concerned about the potential regression of CeeDee Lamb. Still a first rounders on the offensive line. Ruiz looks real nice, but like our tackles are. I don't have an issue with tackle. We just re-signed Guyton. Madison at pass rush. We just brought in Chop Robinson. And I think like Ezeraku, I still kind of want to develop. Like we have no team needs at all. So I'm just gonna make the argument that like let's just get Stinson, even though it's a reach in terms of like I might be able to wait the second round. I will say, as much as I've dominated draft classes, guys that are studs get overdrafted by CPU. There's not a chance that if I trade out of this first round and get more picks, that Stinson would still be there late second round. So he's a first round talent. He's probably the best player that we could get for a team need. Number 12 in true value at 22. Oh, no dev trait. Damn, man. That sucks. How about blind picking a tight end? Ferguson's not getting any younger. He's pretty much out of stealing. We have Scott Bush. A catching traffic, A catching. Pretty solid, like top 5 in pretty much every testing. He is a first, second rounder. Does this blind pick work out? Hey, not bad. 32. Legit first rounder. Sick. And there's the dev trait. And then looking at the rest of our draft recap, I kind of just set some favorites out. Let the CPU go for it. There was no one else that was really standing out as cheese. No great athletes. No one had any elite traits. And I think that kind of reflects. Maybe, we're due for a little bit of a weak class. And I'm not picking the nose tackle issue. That's a bug to kind of pad my stats here. But I'm happy, 77 normal. 77 still a great rating. And then we do get the dev trait tight end. Looking at this class as a whole, let's see if it backs up that it wasn't a particularly strong class. Tops 84 tackle, 82 quarterback. It's not bad, but I bet you like when you go into like the second and third round, there's not going to be a lot of crazy value. Like once we were on the board, get some safeties. Like I wouldn't be looking at safeties at all. And then, just not a lot of steals to be had. Ooh, then nose tackle cheese. We're not making that. That would have been a good one, though. Miller at corner is 73. Missed on that. Look, another nose tackle cheese. So, hey, I will say, kind of a weak class. We're fine. We didn't have a lot of holes in it. We weren't really relying on this draft to move the needle for us. We did that in free agency by adding Brooks and Chop Robinson. All right, year 4. Really wish we had Jahmyr Gibbs. I'd feel a lot more bullish about flipping the script, being able to run the football, maybe more complimentary football. But we got a better feel-good story here with Jonathan Brooks, who was clearly, the year that he came out, who's regarded as the top running back in the class from Texas, and is literally just injury setback. We need to be our Nick Chubb. Running back, come back from bad injury, and spearhead this offense and get the run game going. Because with this offensive line, there's no excuse, no reason that our run game can't help out and maybe even get Archmain to play even better and open things up for the pass for a little bit easier for him to get to Lamb and Pickens. 2 back-to-back. 10-7 seasons, 2 back-to-back. Embarrassing playoff performances. We go into year 4. We need better. Especially now with this, there's immense added pressure knowing that Dak Prescott is playing lights out for the Jets right now. So we're at midseason. We are 4-2, which is good start. We have $151 million of cap. So with that, we can navigate with pretty free reign as far as going after guys that we want to retain. And I think it makes a lot of sense to get Lamb. I think it makes a lot of sense Tyler Book here on a 3-year deal. I think it makes a lot of sense to go chase down Ezraku. Maybe give him a little, let's go 3 years. He's been solid. Maybe didn't ever really want to say he's Micah Parsons' successor, but it would have been nice for him to play maybe a little bit better. Ravel at corner. I think on a 2-year deal, that's the right call. I think we probably move off of Diggs in this situation. He's only going to regress more. It's not a bad contract, but it certainly is a contract that I don't love. I think Kenny Clark, sure, 1-year deal. Keep that train rolling. Keep him as long as we can, just to try to say that, like, I'd rather keep Kenny Clark that has a lot of interest with the program than someone having to overpay for a Diggy Zua who does not. And we already have, like, our interior pass rusher successor. And honestly, I don't see any signs of us winning a Super Bowl anytime soon. So to save some money, because these two players are going to get contracts next year, I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, this is kind of surprising. 12-5 is not surprising. 12-5 being the 1 seed in the NFC very much is. We got Green Bay right there. That could be a juicy playoff matchup. The return of Micah Parsons. We have somehow the tiebreaker over the Panthers. But I don't think this has got to be our only 12-5 1 seed in any of our rebuilds right now. Our run game better. The addition of Jonathan Brooks at least takes us. We've had like a bottom 3 rush offense. It's respectable. Top 10 pass offense, top 10 offense, number 2 defense, top 5 pass defense. Our pass defense has been in the 20s all rebuild long. So I'm seeing progress here this year. Arch Manning was solid, 3,900 yards, 32 touchdowns with 4 picks. We got a 1,000-yard runner and 12 touchdowns for Jonathan Brooks back in Texas. We're getting dual threat play out of Arch Manning. 4,400 yards, just under 40 touch. Yes, sir. Sign me up. Receiving, didn't get 2,000-yard receivers. Far from it. Very disappointing numbers from George Pickens. But CeeDee Lamb is back to his best. 1,300 yards, 19 touchdowns. Defensively, we got solid production from the linebackers. 14.5 sacks from Ezraku. 13.5 from Chop Robinson. Odigizua gives us 9 sacks. We get 8.5 and 19 TFLs from the X Factor Hayden. I love that. And our interception numbers are up for the first time. Maybe the addition of Terry Arnold is what we were missing. But literally every free agent we signed. Arnold, dividends. Chop Robinson, dividends. Jonathan Brooks, single-handedly made our run offense a lot better. And at least Dak Prescott's not MVP again. And we actually have Arch Manning finishing ahead of him. But I feel like I've done a great job not taking a lot of shots at the Cowboys. Here's where I'm going to take a shot at the Cowboys. We know we haven't been good in the playoffs, but finally, we feel a little bit better. We get the 1 seed. We don't have to go through the whole gauntlet. But this is prime time for the Cowboys to be one and done. First round bye, have some hype. We host the Falcons, who have the number 1 offense in the NFL. Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Michael Penix Jr. killing it. Let's see. Dallas Cowboys, home favorite in the playoffs. What could go wrong? Let's see it, fellas. I'll take 1. I don't even need a Super Bowl this year. Even though we had the team and we played well enough in the regular season to justifiably get a Super Bowl. We're the 1 seed. I just want 1 playoff win. I won't be greedy. Let me build off it, and we'll see if we can bring it home in year 5. Come on. Come on. And it's been Arch Manning. 2 playoff games, and he has combined 200 yards passing in those 2 playoff games. So if that's what he's going to be, maybe the addition of Jonathan Brooks will give us a run game that is the needed push to play better in the playoffs. But we finished the first half with a touchdown, up 17-7. Atlanta scores first. Come on, fella. Yep, there we go. That's going to be the turn right there. Just no points in the third. We get 1 field goal on our only good drive. And it's going to be on our defense here. We actually get the stop on 4th down. Forcing the completion on Mike Penis. There we go. We got at least 1 win. Wasn't efficient maybe actually it was efficient, but wasn't explosive football. Felt like that was kind of a grindy performance. But Arch Manning at least goes over, and we're talking about, like, we don't have a good player. Our X Factor 99 quarterback at least threw for over 150 yards here today. Very efficient. 1 touchdown, no picks. Run game, you got the rushing touchdown. Not bad. Shout out Ferguson getting the receiving touchdown. Defensively, Chop Robinson, 2 sacks. So there you go. You get the same school, same style of player, Micah Parsons. That's all we need. Jerry Jones probably is now retired, so no one thinks that's Micah Parsons. Like, we got Micah Parsons back? Let's go. Now, standing between us and a Super Bowl appearance is the Philadelphia Eagles. Wouldn't have it any other way. We're home. Phillies, they run the football well. They don't allow you to run the football. But look at that defense. I mean, we saw this actually in the Packers rebuild that we just did. We played the Eagles a lot in the playoffs. And their pass defense, for the fact that they have Quinyon Mitchell is a 92 overall, Cuban Eugene is a 90 overall, they do not have good sim defense numbers. So that means this should be a game that if we win, as we see Chop Robinson getting a player of the week performance, we're going to have to throw the football, attack the weakness in the Eagles secondary in the sim. Let's see. I mean, obviously, if we do lose to the Eagles, I'm not going to be clip farming with rage. Maybe deep down inside a little smirk. But for the Cowboy fans that are watching today, this one would feel pretty nice making the Super Bowl and doing so by defeating the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's see, here we go. Philly strikes first. We go for it on 4th down, get nothing. We force a turnover, and we are tied at 7. I'd like to think a low-scoring game will probably favor the Eagles if we can make it into a little bit of a shootout, which we're scoring quick, fast and furious here. That will work over the Cowboys. 2 straight touchdowns. Philly is not going away. But we got final possession. And Arch Manning. No. Can't give him time. Oh, we got it on the defense. Gets out the field. 31-25 at home. This new era, the Jerry-less era for the Dallas Cowboys, are in the Super Bowl. This has been our toughest rebuild to date. We are still a long way. We have to play well in the Super Bowl. I can absolutely see this team throwing up a stinker. But you have to feel confident in Arch Manning and how he is playing this playoff run, how he's played all year long. Fishing football, 322 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Run game continues to be complimentary. CeeDee Lamb, he's up there in age a little bit, but has his biggest game of his career, especially within the context of what this game means and what this win means. $150, hat trick of touchdowns. Defensively, Hayden with a sack. We get a pick from Diggs, the veteran, and the Cowboys are heading to the Super Bowl. Get the Raiders. What? The hell have the Raiders? I mean, I'm interested. Maybe I can get some tips of what we need to do for our Raiders franchise outside of learning how to play defense. So that is not great quarterback play unless he just got hot during this playoff run. Nick Mack, 25 touchdowns, 10 picks. Definitely not scary. Ashton Genty's a machine. 1,600 yards, 15 touchdowns. They got Jacoby Myers, Jack Betts. They got Dante Thornton. We got to figure out a way to deal with that. Brock Bowers is always a weapon. Genty can catch the ball very effectively out of the backfield. Defensively, 12.5 sacks. So in this world, they still have Christian Wilkins. The roster update hasn't gone through. They have Van Ness, Max Crosby. They somehow have Zach Bond from the Eagles, which makes no sense at all. But I mean, I'm not seeing we're better. I'm not seeing one thing there that makes, outside of unless they just decide to let Thornton play like he does in our franchise mode. If we don't let Ashton Genty take this game over, we're going into this, I would say, massive favorites. Looking at the rankings, as expected, the Vegas Raiders, very good running the football. The number 2 rushing offense. They have a top 10 defense, number 7 pass yard defense, number 1 rush defense. So we can find a way to get consistent yards through the air and ground against a stingy defense. And we need our defense not to let their pass attack go. It'd be one of those ones. If Genty kind of has a strong game, he's how they get their yards, so be it. We can't let their passing offense win. And I will be very surprised if a team that can't pass the football wins this game. So here we go. It's going to be Arch Manning, the Dallas Cowboys, against Ashton Genty and the Vegas Raiders. We are not here for the pageantry of the Super Bowl. We are here to belt to ass. You cannot miss this opportunity. As much as I love the Raiders in the context of this year's game, I love seeing them make the Super Bowl. This is not us having to beat the Ravens or the Bengals or the Chiefs. We have got to make the most of this playoff role. And there we go. We are going to go in halftime with a lead, 10-7, but we're not really pulling ahead, which is always, you're playing with your food a little bit, and we're settling for long field goal misses. So we are tied at 10. Everything to play for in the fourth quarter. We get a good drive from Arch Manning. Touchdown. Fucking field goals, man. Come on. Fuck yeah, baby. I wish we would have been in prime Arch Manning showcase there. We win the ugliest Super Bowl you're ever going to see. But a Super Bowl nonetheless. I think Cowboy fans would take absolutely any playoff success at this point. They would take all field goal Super Bowl win. And I wish that we would have had Arch Manning get 5 touchdowns. Iconic performance, legendary performance. And what we got likely at best was efficient football. But in our most challenging rebuild to date here in Madden 26 franchise mode, we have somehow been able to take the Dallas Cowboys. I think it was all in part with that first draft class. We get a quarterback that we made Arch Manning, but it was that quarterback. Superstar dev. We draft an X-Factor safety. Look at that. I mean, hey, you know what? Credit where credit due. Look at what our defense did. Holding him to 74 yards. Look at what Arch did. Moved the football up and down the field. 300 yards. He might get MVP. Honestly, with no touchdowns. Run game was abysmal. No receiver really popped off. Pickens had a decent showing. Defensively, like a couple sacks, no picks. Like, Arch wins MVP. In this matchup, carried the team up and down the field. Unfortunately, we stalled out a little bit. There we go, man. Another check mark for our Madden 26 rebuild season. So as we always like to do in our rebuilds, let's take a look at our player stats and what they were able to accomplish within this 4-year time period. Arch Manning goes for 12,000 yards passing, 98 touchdowns to only 15 picks. So maybe the output wasn't insane, but the turnovers were very good. He protected the football very nice. Did not put this team in harm's way. Our run game was not great. That was certainly an issue. Maybe we would have had to keep on keeping on. Jonathan Brooks would have became the player we thought he was pre-injuries at Texas. That was a great little story there. Kind of still wish we got Jahmyr Gibbs. That was pretty bad. We're just under 11,000 career receiving yards for CeeDee Lamb. 88 touchdowns, 6,200 yards, 33 touchdowns for George Pickens. 4,100 yards, 19 touchdowns for Jake Ferguson. And on a defensive side, Kenny Clark, well, he brings that and most of that production from his time with Green Bay. But we get 39.5 sacks of Diggy Zua. We get 34 sacks from Ezra Rocco on 57 TFLs. He was good. Drafted an X-Factor and Tyree Hayden on the D-line. Trading 2 first-round picks was worth it. Absolute baller. And unfortunately, did not get a lot of turnovers, but Diggs does finish this rebuild anyway with 26 career picks. So there we go, fellas. That is a successful Madden 26 Dallas Cowboys rebuild. I am so ready for the PC mods and draft classes to be ready to get into realistic rebuilds. So we get a little taste of that here today with Arch Manning because it's just too fitting. Be it Arch Manning turns his college career around and has and maintains that hype, or it's a player that I think that this game just finished up with Ohio State where he had a good drive and then a couple bad throws. Stock is very much undecided on Arch Manning. Hype is not. That'll be a classic Jerry Jones pick of like, oh, don't care, I want Arch Manning. And he ended up being very, very good for us. Oh, nice Bush. Our tight end that we got in the second round was a superstar dev. That's pretty cool. But that being said, fellas, if it is your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. What I want you to do is in the comment section below, leave a comment on what team you want to see rebuilt next before the Micah Parsons trade. I was leaning towards a Chicago Bears rebuild. So if you want to see the Bears, let me know. If you want to see a different team, let me know. I would like to see, a like goal, 1,000 likes would be kind of cool. It is my birthday today. I did record Cowboys video content on my birthday to get this video up to you guys. So, just to kind of cheese the opportunity, see if we can get some analytics to go my way. But that will do it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out, love ya. Have a good one.